What's going on, Washington fans? Welcome to the JTFB show. Josh Taylor here, checking in as we've gotten some news today from Dan Quinn. First off, Marshawn Lattimore was a full participant in practice, and he will be making his debut this Sunday, it sounds like, against his former team, the New Orleans Saints. And I'll be having Rio come on my show tomorrow for our weekly live stream, where we'll definitely be talking about that. But I wanted to break down something else that came out today that was kind of concerning. And that is Noah Brown. It sounded like he was going to have like some kind of rib injury, but it turned out to be more of an internal injury with his kidneys. So no joke. That sounds painful. It sounds awful. So hopefully a easier recovery for Noah Brown on that one. But it sounds like he's going to be out for the rest of the season. They said there's a chance like he could come back at the playoffs, but it didn't sound like it. It sounded like it was a longer injury than that. Which anything internals, concerning, that's usually going to take a while. And because of that, they went ahead and added some help to the wide receiver room, and that was claiming KJ Osborn off of the waivers, who was released by the Patriots not that long ago. It was like last week or something like that. It wasn't that long ago. Now, KJ Osborn, this is an interesting guy. 5'11", 203, played for Miami Hurricanes, drafted in 2020 in the 5th round by the Minnesota Vikings. This was a guy that I actually, funny enough, got to scout him last year, but it was based off of his 2022 tape with the Vikings. I think that was his best season, honestly, in the NFL. So it's just interesting. Like, this is one of the guys out of I think there's 5 wide receivers in the whole NFL I was picked to scout, and he was one of them. So I thought I would just give my thoughts on it, what I saw on the film, kind of stuff like that, where he could really play at and everything, what I think of the move. Now, first off, the wide receiver room needs all the help it can get. So picking up any wide receiver and kicking the tires on him, in my opinion, is necessary, especially with Noah Brown being out for a long time. And everyone's like, oh, this is exactly like he plays the same as him. Like, kind of, but not really, in the sense of KJ Osborn's a guy, like I said, size-wise, he played on the outside and he played in the slot too. What I watched from him in 2022 is, and I'm interested to see if the numbers correlate with it, I feel like in 2022 he played in the slot a lot more and then played outside 2023. I mean, wide receiver room with the Vikings was a little bit different. 2023 hit a drop-off. And a couple things, drops, I know for sure are going to be one of them. But again, production too, obviously. But the 2022 film actually impressed me. He had some big playability where he was able to take the top off of a team. After the catch, I thought he was really good. I thought his route running was solid. Could be better, obviously. I'm not saying this guy's Devontae Adams. But I think he's a solid wide receiver that he's still younger. Like I said, he was drafted and he's only 27 and a half. Maybe he could be here next year because, the wide receiver room just needs so much help, and there's free agents. We have so many free agents next year too. But nonetheless, I think for right now, in the position Washington's in, this last 4 games this season, having to go at least 2-2, would love to go 3-1 and get that 6th seed possibly in the playoffs, but we're at least going to make it as a 7 seed. You need wide receiver help. This offense needs it. Outside of Terry, who's going to step up? Cliff has to get Luke more involved. But now with KJ Osborn, this is a guy that you got to get production out of him right away. I hate to say it. Like I said, KJ Osborn, here he is, last played on the Patriots. 5'11", 203. Didn't really do much for the Patriots. No one really has for the Patriots. Obviously. So I don't know if I'm really looking at this too much, but if I zoom in here, you can kind of see it better. It's breaking down. This is PFF based off of slot and then wide. He played in the slot 61 snaps and played outside 162 snaps. Just didn't really fit the Patriots at all. I don't think he's a bad wide receiver. I don't think he sucks. People are like, oh, I don't want him, blah, 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 blah. I don't think so by any means. 2023, when he was on the Vikings, in the slot, if you look at it, he played 262 snaps in the slot and then 556 outside. And it kind of correlates. He played 822 snaps. It's a good bit. But kind of correlates, like I said, in 2022, where he had his most production, he actually played a ton in the slot, 542 and 362 outside. He had 908 snaps total. It's like, oh, what does that mean, Josh? Let's take a look at some more stuff. Let's look at the production from 2023. I hate how small PFF makes this. But looking at 2023, this is probably where he had the most drops. Excuse me. Where he had the most drops. He had 7 drops in 2023. And maybe you can kind of see it here. Looking at DRP on PFF goes down. He had 7. I know in 2022 he had none. I remember like mentioning that in the stats that he had no drops in 2022. But let me see if I can pull up 2022. But 2023 he had, just showing his alignment once again and his grades here. Total yards 540. He got targeted 73 times, caught 48 of them. Like I said, 540, and he had 3 touchdowns. He scored against Detroit. I mean, he scored twice in the first 3 weeks, and he didn't score again until week 16. But I mean, like I said, they added Jordan Addison. You got, Justin Jefferson, Hawkinson at tight end. He's pretty much like the 4th option in that offense in 2023. 2022, he was a little bit more, I don't want to say utilized, but he was more like higher ranked in the wide receiver room for the Vikings. Let's see. I want to double check because I'm pretty sure he had 0 drops. Yep, no drops for the whole year. 0 drop percentage. That's amazing. A lot better grades here, but what I care about, like I said, 62 catches on 88 targets. 670 yards, 10.8 yards per catch, 6 touchdowns, much better. Everything across the board in 2022 was just much cleaner for him. Yak, 306 yak yards. That's what I like to see. That's something that Washington needs so bad. What was it in 2023? His yak. 186. So not as good. We need 2022 KJ Osborn to come out. He had 655 and 7 touchdowns in 2021 as well. Drops, he had 2. So I mean, the stretch of 21 and 22 of KJ Osborn was really clean. 23, he kind of moved down the priority list. It's not like he just sucked all of a sudden. But then 2024, the Patriots are just like, they drafted some guys. I don't know. They didn't really start throwing the ball that good until Drake May came in. But he wanted to get out of there. They said, we're going to help you out. We're going to release you. Washington picks him up on the waiver. What are my expectations from KJ Osborn? Like I said, when I watched the tape and broke it down, like the yak showed up. I think he can win deep. Production-wise, I'd say it maybe along the lines of Noah Brown. Like, I could see it because like Noah Brown has these flashes where he does like good things. Then he has these flashes where he does have some drops and stuff like that. So maybe along the lines of like production and like filling in the Noah Brown gap, I could see where it's like, okay, they're kind of the same. Like wide receiver wise, I don't really think they're the same kind of guys. I like KJ Osborn. First off, Noah Brown's not going in the slot. I think we could see him moved around inside and outside. Honestly, does he play much Sunday against the Saints? I think he's active. I think this Sunday, Cliff is going to want to utilize De'Ami Brown more and do some more of those quick screens that we've seen from De'Ami. Maybe throw a deep one to him to see if he has that in him still this year. We've seen like once or twice. I know Jaden missed him on that one in the Titans game. But we got to get some more production. Same with Luke McCaffrey. Cliff has to find a way. This guy gets separation all the time. He has really good yak. So De'Ami Brown needs to step up. Luke McCaffrey, he's been playing great. It's just he hasn't been utilized. He hasn't been, like, once again, that high on the priority list and the progressions and stuff like that with the offense. And that's on Cliff. Cliff needs to get him more involved. And I would love to see some more Ben Sinnott as well. Talking about yak, talking about across the middle, stuff like that. But I think KJ Osborn is a solid signing. I like it. I like that better than some of the guys that like people were telling me to get, like Tyquan Thornton, like his teammate in the Patriots, like some other like guys like under him. I think KJ Osborn is probably one of the better like wide receiver options available right now. Could I see him on the team next year? Maybe. Like I said, there's so many moving pieces going into next season, so many free agents and stuff like that with the wide receiver room. I don't think De'Ami's here next year. I don't think Olamide's here next year. Who knows with Noah Brown with his injury? Like I said, he's a free agent anyways. We have like 3 or 4 like wide receiver free agents next year. We need help. We need all the guys we can get. I could see him as like a wide receiver 4 or 5 or something like that on this team next year. But all in all, it needed to happen. We needed wide receiver help for this final 4 games. I'm not mad at it. I think there's enough of a ceiling where I'm like, okay, like I'm somewhat excited about it. I'm not like, oh my God, we just got KJ Osborn. Nothing like that, obviously. But if he can get back to what I saw on the tape for the 2022 season, and 2021 he produced very well apparently too. But what I saw in the 2022 film, he had some big playabilities, and he was able to find the end zone. And he didn't drop the ball in 2022. He did in 2023 for whatever reason. He just forgot how to catch for a little bit. But if he can get back to that, give us enough production. I mean, like, I don't know. Is it too much to ask for like 40 yards a game, 50 yards a game? And not this Sunday, but I'm talking like Philly, Falcons, Dallas. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's asking way too much. But I was actually impressed by a couple things he did on film. So I don't hate it. I'm not like blown away by it, but at the same time, it needed to happen. So drop your thoughts below. Just hit 5K subs. Appreciate everyone that's been subbing up to the channel. Got some big things cooking up. Also got some streaming things as well. Like I said, I will be here tomorrow live with Rio, about to build out the stream now and put it up for y'all so y'all can hit that notification when we go live at 4 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. But if any other news breaks, y'all know I will hop on here and talk about it real quick. But we got a big one Sunday. So come in tomorrow to the live stream with me and Rio. Watch that. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button and drop your comments below. Do you love the sign in? Do you hate it? Or you're like, cool, like me? I'm like in the middle. I'm at like a 6.5 out of 10. It's not a 7. Now, if he like gets like 3 touchdowns, I'm moving up to like an 8 at that point. But I appreciate y'all checking out the video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.